This week matters because the power dynamic is shifting in real time. Governments are circling Greenland as the next battleground for the AI arms race. The most powerful AI company in the world might be losing their top spot, and self-driving cars might be proving themselves to be safer than humans. If you want to understand where this is all heading and how it impacts your life, you are in the right place. Now, I do this because AI moves fast and people don't lose jobs or miss opportunities because they're lazy. They lose because they do not see what's coming until it's too late. I've seen firsthand how fast the ground can shift because I myself was a broke Lyft driver who knew that I desperately needed a change. So I did a tech boot camp, which helped me land a six-figure tech career in just a few months. And within literally 1 year, I scaled to over $500,000 in the tech industry. Now, since then, I've helped over 10,000 people break into six-figure tech and AI careers or build million-dollar AI businesses. So this show exists to make sure that you are not caught off guard or missing opportunities. Every week, we break down the AI and tech news that actually matters for you. We're talking what's changing, who's gaining leverage, and what it means for your future. So make sure you like, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this week's AI news. All right, so for the first major piece of AI news, we need to talk about the AI arms race and why Greenland has suddenly become one of the most important places on Earth. See, on the surface, Greenland looks completely irrelevant. Everyone knows about it for having the ice, the snow, and very few people. But underneath that surface are rare earth minerals that are critical for modern technology, especially when we're talking about things like semiconductors, batteries, and advanced AI hardware. See, most people don't know this, but AI does not run on software alone. AI actually runs on data centers, and data centers run on chips. And chips require what are called rare earth minerals and massive amounts of energy. And right now, China itself controls the largest portion of the global rare earth refining and processing pipeline, which gives it a huge leverage over the physical inputs that power AI. Whereas the United States and its allies are trying to reduce their dependence. And Greenland is one of the few remaining regions with untapped potential outside of Chinese control. This is exactly why governments are suddenly paying attention, and now why the US and the UK are at odds. This is also where Trump enters the picture. See, Trump has repeatedly emphasized securing strategic resources, protecting national leverage, and preventing rivals from controlling the inputs of future technology. When people earlier were mocking interest in Greenland, they missed the entire point. This is not about land ownership. This is about AI dominance. Greenland also offers things like cold climates that drastically reduce data center cooling costs. They bring massive open land for infrastructure and access to energy that can support long-term compute growth. So we need to strip away the politics and understand that's what makes this become very simple and crystal clear. Whoever controls the physical inputs of AI controls the balance of power in the future. Greenland is one of the battlegrounds of the AI era. My question for y'all, do you think AI resources like rare earth minerals and energy should be treated as national security assets, or should private companies be the ones able to control them? Before we continue, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Careerist. Careerist is the boot camp I personally did to break into the tech industry, and it completely transformed my entire life. Now, I've also interviewed many of Careerist alumni and close friends of mine who went through their program and have landed six-figure tech roles, including AI engineering positions, which of course is the most in-demand $100,000 plus job in the tech industry today. Now, many of y'all have been asking me how people are getting into the tech industry fast, and this is one of the best paths. So make sure that you use the link in the description and you'll get a special discount that you won't find anywhere else. That being said, let's go ahead and get back into this episode. Now, for the next major AI news update, we need to talk about OpenAI. See, we all know that OpenAI has been treated as if it is AI itself, but the company is actually under more pressure than most people realize. OpenAI runs some of the most powerful models in the world, but it also runs one of the most expensive infrastructures ever built. Training and operating large AI models costs them billions of dollars every year. And reports are suggesting that OpenAI is actually burning massive amounts of cash as their compute costs continue to rise faster than their revenue. Now, at the same time, OpenAI is also facing legal and public scrutiny. See, Elon Musk, a lot of people don't know this, was one of OpenAI's original founders. And currently he is suing OpenAI and Microsoft, making claims that the company has abandoned its original nonprofit mission and now has become a closed, for-profit driven organization aligned with corporate interests. See, this lawsuit is not about money, it is about control. Who gets access to AI, who benefits from it, and whether early promises were actually broken. Competition is also accelerating fast for OpenAI. Google's Gemini models are improving rapidly. Then you have Anthropic, which is gaining traction with enterprises. Then you have open source models that are becoming viable alternatives. Now understand, OpenAI is still powerful, but it is no longer untouchable. If you want breakdowns like this before they hit mainstream headlines, make sure that you like and subscribe. But my question is, do you think OpenAI is going to stay on top long term? Or do you think that AI fragment across multiple competing platforms is what's going to end up happening? Okay, so staying on topic with OpenAI for a minute, the next piece of tech news comes from what happened after one of its top leaders left. Former OpenAI CTO Mira Murati left the company and started her own AI tech startup called Thinking Machine Labs. Now, almost immediately, investors showed so much interest that it's reported that it got valuations approaching about $50 billion for her business, even though the company did not have a clearly defined product or business model. Now, that alone shows how scarce elite AI leadership has become. So investors are betting on people, not finished products. But things have quickly become unstable. Reports are indicating that there's a lot of internal confusion around the company's direction. And then in the midst of that, a major scandal recently broke. See, Thinking Machine Labs CTO was removed after allegations of an inappropriate intimate relationship happened with a subordinate. And it later also emerged internally that he also had been sharing sensitive information with OpenAI. He was literally sharing it with the ops. Now, he was doing that while working at Thinking Machine Labs, effectively operating as a double agent. Now, regardless of how every detail plays out, the damage is real. There's a lot of leadership exits. The trust is collapsing. Investors are panicking. This is not gossip. This is a huge warning for everyone about how fragile AI startups can be when they don't have strong governance. All right, now let me talk to you for a second. For everyone who has been asking me how to actually get a six-figure tech career as fast as possible, especially one that actually has long-term demand, this is exactly for you. Right now, AI engineering is the most in-demand role, specifically six-figure role in the world. As we know, companies are paying hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars for this role because they cannot hire fast enough. That is why I keep recommending Careerist, because Careerist has helped many people get AI engineering careers. And I'm not only saying this lightly, this is the exact bootcamp that I did to get into the tech industry. And I've interviewed countless of their alumni who have went through the exact same program and completely changed their lives as well. Now, the thing that I really respect about Careerist the most is that they don't just teach skill, they actually help with things like your resume, your LinkedIn optimization, interview preparation, job-ready real-world training, and actual career placement support. They also offer financing, which removes a major barrier for most people. So understand, if you're serious about changing your life and positioning yourself in one of the fastest growing, highest paying careers in the world, make sure you use my link in the description and you will get a major discount. And of course, it also directly supports the show. Now, that being said, understand that AI is not slowing down. If anything, we can all see that it is only accelerating. Now let's get back to the show. So now let's move on to one of my favorite topics in AI updates, because this one affects everyday life. Self-driving vehicles are no longer experimental. Companies like Waymo have driven tens of millions of miles, and the data is actually showing that autonomous vehicles are involved in dramatically fewer crashes than humans, with reductions as high as 96% in certain scenarios. See, when a self-driving car crashes, we all know it goes viral, so many of us were thinking they've been crashing a lot. But in reality, we're forgetting the fact that when a human crashes, it barely registers. Human accidents are normal, whereas these machine accidents feel shocking because they're new. So that means it's going viral because we're sharing it so much. But literally, they are 96% safer than being inside of a car with a human who's driving. Now, we have to speak about what this means business-wise. See, for insurance companies and regulators, they don't care about what goes viral, they care about statistics. Fewer crashes means lower insurance costs. Lower insurance costs means higher margins for businesses, and over time, it becomes economically irrational not to adopt to autonomous vehicles. Now, we have to look at companies like Uber and Lyft and realize this is going to be a fundamental shift for them, but also for drivers, rideshare drivers. We clearly see that this is marking the beginning of the end, whether we're talking 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, the beginning of the end for rideshare drivers. So I want to know from y'all, knowing this data, would you personally choose a self-driving car over a human driver now that the data is out that it is 96% safer, or you're 96% less likely to be in an accident with them? And also, do you believe that this is marking the beginning of the end for rideshare drivers, and how much longer do you believe they have? Now for the next update, because this is the phase most people are not prepared for. AI is no longer just software on a screen. It is moving into transportation, logistics, manufacturing, energy systems, defense, and more. Software AI, as we've seen it before, it changes workflows and certain type of digital automation, whereas physical AI changes whole economies. When machines make decisions in the real world, the consequences multiply. See, governments are paying very close attention because once AI is embedded in infrastructure, reversing course becomes impossible. I want to know from y'all, do you think governments are already behind on regulating AI in the physical world, or do you think at this point it doesn't even matter? All right, now before we wrap up, here are several rapid fire AI updates that you should know. First, most companies that have been adopting AI are quietly actually struggling. Executives have been rushing to deploy AI tools without completely fixing broken data systems. They're having outdated workflows and also completely unclear incentives. See, AI does not magically fix inefficiency. They're realizing it actually exposes inefficiencies. Companies that prepared their infrastructure first are the ones that are seeing the real productivity gains, whereas the rest are burning money and wondering why nothing has changed. This gap is widening fast, and it's definitely going to separate the winners from the losers over the next few years. Secondly, NVIDIA remains the backbone of the AI economy, but that dominance is also creating brand new risks. Governments now understand that whoever controls AI chips control the pace and the cost of the innovation. So that means things like export restrictions, national chip programs, and supply chain reshoring are accelerating the entire worldwide pace when it comes to the AI race. Now, this is no longer just about faster graphic cards. It is about national leverage and long-term technological independence. AI-generated voice and video game scams are actually exploding right now. Criminals have been using cloned voices to impersonate family members, executives, and authority figures with alarming accuracy. These video deepfakes are catching up quickly, and this is creating a trust crisis where seeing and hearing are no longer enough. Businesses are already being forced to add new verification layers, slowing everything down within their processes and increasing costs for everyone. AI is putting massive strain on the global energy systems. See, data centers run by OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta, they're actually consuming enormous amounts of electricity, sometimes rivaling entire cities. Trump has openly argued that these companies should stop relying on public infrastructure and start paying their own way. Now, that pressure is already forcing AI firms to invest directly into power plants, long-term energy contracts, and nuclear and gas projects. For everyday people, this matters because when AI competes for power, our energy prices rise and our grid reliability drops. And finally, AI is reshaping the entire job ladder. Entry-level roles are beginning to disappear first because AI automates the tasks that once trained new workers. Companies have been cutting junior positions while aggressively hiring mainly senior, middle, and senior talent. That makes it harder to break in later and more valuable for those who already have skills. Now, this timing is becoming just as important as talent. The only entry-level career that's growing in demand is AI engineering, as I talked about before. I want to know from y'all, out of all the news that was shared, which one of these within the rapid fire is most important to you? And what is another piece of tech news that I didn't cover today that you think that we should talk about? And maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode. And again, if you want AI working for your income instead of against it, the links are in the description and the show notes. I'll see y'all next week.